So I'm just kind of looking around at all the stuff that's going on. I've noticed at one point that the NPCs in the Castletown area, most of them are pretty much gone, but most of them have been normally just being teleported to a different place. So I kind of look down here, you're like, oh, well, there's a lot of commands. There's them, but no one else is around. Where did they go? So I just kind of assumed that for some reason they got deleted for no reason. Then I came back here working on some other stuff, just seeing if there's anything I could change, changing some blocks and stuff. I see this guy and I'm like, oh, what's he looking at? And then I see this guy. Just a random one. And then you hear the dog and you're like, well, I wonder if there's a command block under him. Everyone is just down here, all in one little place.
This zombie should spawn 20 to or 5 to 20 flesh. He just now only dropped one. I don't know how loot tables work. But once I figure it out, chests and enemies are going to be so much easier to deal with because they're going to be dropping what I actually want rather than a zombie, which rarely drops like iron and potatoes. As I've said before, we're working on finishing everything up at Kakariko village so that we can actually clone it for the adult Link. And things just are connected way too much sometimes. I mentioned, I think, as well, that like a lot of the things in the world work, but a lot of things also don't work. And that's mostly because when I do find something that does work for one thing, it doesn't work for the other. So let's see an example. One of the places I was working on was this grave, and turns out there was a bombable wall behind the chest with a fairy fountain. So now I have to postpone finishing up Kakariko to go and fix the fairy fountain. I go over to finish up the fairy fountain so that I can clone it, and then I realize I had to figure out how to get the fairies to do something that I wanted to, the point where I would enjoy it, which I found out that they look just fine like this. Rather not try to use armor stands to make them actually float around. And we have this little mechanic that'll do it for us. And now that we've gotten that, now it makes me want to figure out how to actually fix the fairies so that when you pick one up with a bottle, it goes into one of these potions. And if you don't, then it just automatically heals you. Because right now, all you have to do is just eat it, and it'll give you the health. So you can hold it in your hand as much as you want. So once we get the thing to make the fairies work, then it opens even more possibilities, such as the shopkeepers that like sell you fairies, and then there's the beggar, which you can give fairies to that person and get money. It's just a lot. And then we go all the way back to Kakariko, and then we continue on. But at least we're getting things finished more. Surprisingly, doing all this, like fixing everything, has also been leading to adding things and finishing it up and finalizing things, such as Navi the Fairy, where are you? Oh wait, I deactivated her. Here we go. This will be filled in once you start the game. You crouch, and it's Navi. You take her head, and she says the thing that she's supposed to say for that moment, which is what this whole thing is right here. I want to make it so that she's also somewhat of your wallet, but I don't know how to put a chest that'll like save things really without, because like she gets deleted after you pick up the head or whatever. So then the next best idea was to put an ender chest right here, but that just looks horrible, honestly. So I was debating whether I should get rid of the particles or what, and then I was thinking maybe I could just put a normal chest there. And I was like, I don't like the way that looks. Turns out the debug stick, if you use the type, you can make it invisible. And then I could have put like one of these right here instead, and it'll have a chest. And then I tried to incorporate an entire like safe system where like this chest will clone to this chest, which is the safe chest. Safe, yeah. And then this is a shop, and then this, and this is a shop, and they're both shops, and this is the safe. So when you put something in this shop, it clones the chest over to this chest, and you get the same thing. And then that chest goes over to both of these so that it clones whatever's in the safe.
long story short, if I was gonna incorporate like a incorporate wallet system, like how you get the bigger wallet and stuff, I was gonna fill the chest like this so you can only put things in these top rows. But when you clone something like this into another chest, it also clones the empty slots. So whatever you put in here, it just destroys. So I don't know what to do. And this all started because we were trying to clone Kakariko Village. I get distracted easily, but I don't care. So I was trying out the Totem of Undying, seeing if it was an option for the fairies. Doesn't look like it, because if you have it in your inventory, it's not going to save you. But then I was kind of curious about what happens if, like, because I saw a comment about how the things that drop these don't revive themselves with it, and it's like, oh, because they're not holding it. So I was like, well, what if a zombie, or if some sort of monster is holding it? Does it work? Turns out it does. Pretty neat. Anyways, back to work. Why? What is the difference? Look at this. Okay. This is... Navi, get out of here. Okay. It's testing for if a potion of water is in your inventory. If so, it runs. If not, it doesn't. This water bottle right here is different than if you give the player a water bottle potion. They look the exact same, but one of these things is not like the other. And I don't know what to do about that. The idea was if you were near a fish and you filled the bottle with water, and that fish was a cod distance of like 3 to you, then it would give you a raw cod, which would solve my fish problem. But no, just had to decide that these are two different things. Okay, I did not expect this. I went onto the Minecraft bug website. I've never been on there before, and I like wrote it out and everything. Turns out there is a way. Surprisingly, I was kind of baffled. I didn't think there'd be any way, but I'm surprised how fast of a response I got. It was like a minute in after I sent the thing. So the problem was, it wasn't here where the Minecraft ID potion was. It was the tag. So the tag is Minecraft fire resistance rather than just fire resistance. It's still so weird though that only this one is detected rather than this one. But this one detects for both at least, so I don't know. But that's really strange. Ooh. Yes! I got it. It's all finished. Oh, thank God. It's over for the most part. Now I just have to hope that the same thing applies to doing chests. But for now I don't need to worry about working with chests, because the other reason I went back to this, it's all connected, I say, it's all connected, was because I was working on the fish bottle thing. And it's working out pretty well, except for the fact that I needed help with that one thing. So let's set this up. Alright, so basically, when you're near a cod that's swimming in the water with an empty glass bottle or bottle, which is what it'll be called, it doesn't really matter right now, pick it up, you get a fish, throw bottle to empty. You throw it, it drops the fish, but the fish dies and drops this. And I just started thinking about how I had to kill rotten flesh before, and I was like, I can't keep doing this. Also, you can eat it, but you know, whatever. So I decided to finally start working with custom loot tables again and not give up. And although it was brutal, we did it. Now I can really continue on. I can finish up this and then work my way all the way back to moving Kakariko Village. Here we go. I don't know why that was so funny. Oh, that noise. Oh, that was a bad idea. I just forgot that they don't die like... Oh, no. Alright. Genius idea. So I was figuring out how I was going to do the magic meter in the game, and I knew I wanted to incorporate it with the XP bar because it's already there. Because we got this right here. And I tested out the thing that uses the least amount of magic, which was the fire arrows, because obviously we don't have the ability to do a spin attack. I'm just going to use critical falling jump hits to be that, and I can't really get rid of the XP using that, so we're going to pretend that that's not there. So the next best thing is the fire arrows, or the ice arrows I believe, which are a very low cost of magic, and you can use, at a full magic meter, upgraded and everything, you can use it 24 times. So there will be 24 levels at max, and every time you use a arrow, it takes away a level, a fire arrow. The main reason that I'm working on this now is because when you kill enemies at the moment, let me try it real quick. See, I got the experience from it. Even though, if we go over here, this is constantly killing the experience orbs. Even this isn't fast enough. So what I'm going to do is that since we're basing the magic meter on levels, not experience orbs, we're just going to constantly kill experience orbs. So we'll set this command to repeating and always active, so we'll always have 0 points, but we'll still keep our level. So if we do this one, I believe, we still have 1 level, but our experience points are still being emptied. So if we pick this up, it shows up, but it's gone. It's not fast enough. Meaning we can now have levels of magic, and when we use an arrow, we can get rid of 1 level. So boom! Magic fixed, or at least figured out. It was never broken to begin with. I never tried because I was scared. But yeah, another thing figured out. Things are going good.